Hey everybody, this is Leanna Guidry with Magnolia Key Realty, and
Kat, Anya.
we're here to talk about buyers and their thoughts on waiting out of market and our thoughts on buyers waiting out of market. Okay, so we are a little bit out from the election now, and we already have seen, we wrote 4 contracts yesterday in the company. I know both of you have buyer consults this weekend. I have an uptick in showings on my listings. So the buyers that were waiting, they're starting to get moving
Coming out.
again. Yep.
Everybody's like coming out
Yeah.
of the house.
Out of hiding.
Ready to buy.
Yes. And the thing is, it doesn't really matter who won all the time before an election. It slows down a lot. This time I think was a little bit more extreme on the slowdown. But this is my opinion on waiting out of market. I think that a buyer should buy a house when they can afford to buy a house. If you are waiting for interest rates to go down, house prices to go down, any of those things, I don't think it always works out in their benefit. House prices generally don't go down, and we don't want them to. I mean, it's an appreciating asset. You want it to gain equity when you own it and things like that. So they don't typically go down. And I think sometimes what buyers are thinking is, oh, well, they're just so expensive. That's pretty much gonna stay. You know, the most that you can expect to see in it is when you get into a buyer's market, like what we have been in for the last few months, you can negotiate the price down some. $5,000 to $10,000, you know, here or there, and you can ask for more seller concessions. So you have more leverage there, but overall, you're not going to just see a town of houses and they're dropping $30,000 to $40,000. If that happens, you're probably not going to be buying a house because the economy's
you might not
not in a good
you
spot.
wouldn't be affording one.
No. So I just think that, and if you're waiting for interest rates, if you wait for rates to go down and then everyone else is doing the same thing, well, then when they all go out to buy at the same time, the house prices go up because you have to bid and bid against other people. So I just think that you should buy a house when you can afford to buy a house, when the timing is right for you, and make it specific to yourself and kind of take out the noise from the outside world out of it. And I think we're in a sweet spot right now where the people who have been waiting, they're kind of starting to call and, okay, like, let's get moving. And I think in a few weeks, maybe even months, we're going to flip right back out of this buyer's market that we've been in and into a seller's market, because all the people who have been waiting are going to come out at the same time. So that's my take on it.
Yeah.
What's y'all's?
Well, and I think right now is a great time to start making a relationship with lenders. First-time home buyers, don't wait, don't window shop. Like, really start looking at your credit, look at your budget, start shopping lenders, get those pre-qualifications done, see where you're at. I mean, what's the point of shopping for something that's out of your budget? Really zone in and be able to focus on what you can afford, and start finding out the real numbers. Shop those lenders. There's many different programs. There's down payment assistance, first-time home buyer programs, depending on the loan types. I mean, there's just so many products out there. Different lenders have different products, and you know, it's been real eye-opening to meet with different lenders and trying to understand all the different products. But that's where it's important for the client to make those relationships, and it's not
a buying plan.
Yes, make a buying plan. Absolutely. No, don't assume.
Yeah.
Don't
Because
assume.
Your aunt tells
Don't
you
let
that
your
you should
mama
wait
off.
6
Yes,
months.
no, no.
Grandpa's, grandpa's sister.
Yeah, like Leanna just said, if it's your time, focus on your time. So don't wait. If you're looking, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
And if you need time to build your credit or so, then
That's
do
what I was
it
gonna
now.
say. The
That's it.
lender will tell you if this is not your time to buy. But you know, if you can afford it and you feel comfortable with it, take out the outside noise of what you may be reading online or anything. Come talk to one of us.
We're here to, you know, give you some reference, some resources to go to, and visited with them. We've researched and, you know, do the best for our clients. So that's what we do.
And I think you bought your house
in
a market like this, so you can kind of speak to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, I did buy a house in this market last year. My husband and I own a construction company alongside our full-time jobs, me doing real estate and him as a project manager. And we really needed to move. The home we were in was just not really meeting the needs of our family anymore. So it wasn't even just can you afford it? It's like, can you stay here?
Yeah.
And fortunately, we were able to afford it, and it actually made a whole lot of sense for us. We were able to sell our home that we were in and get a lot of equity out of it. And because this climate of this market right now is in that sweet spot she talked
Right.
about, I was able to negotiate my new home and pay down my interest rate, and still go move into a brand new home, to me, a new home with equity in the bank and everything. And so it was a really great investment. We've been enjoying our new home this past year, and we have no regrets. So, and now we have the space we need for our families.
Yeah.
And being a real estate agent, I was able to know that because I know how this works. But, you know, if I had asked, and maybe I didn't have that experience, and I had gone and asked my parents or somebody that I, you know, trusted, you know, they may not be able to give me the best advice in the market that we're in, because we only have advice for the experiences that we've had,
Right.
and not everybody's experienced every market. And so, you know, we've been doing this for a while. We've experienced the COVID market and the different markets over the last few years. So we can tell you our group is,
and I will say, since COVID, the markets have been very unpredictable. I mean, we knew
there's no
we knew
crystal
the-
ball.
we knew the seller's market was going to stop. Like we knew that was going to happen. People were going to stop selling their houses. It was going to flip into a buyer's market. But I feel like the transitions are a lot quicker than they used to be. It's like going like one week it's good for buyers and one week it's good for sellers. But even with the shifts between a buyer's market and a seller's market, if you're a buyer, it's just best to buy a house when you can afford and you're ready to buy the house, because we will talk to our parents or you know people who bought houses years ago. And we're like, man, if we could have bought a house back then, it would have cost so much less money, or it would be paid off now. Well, the same goes for like
what is the
current
interest
rate.
rate over 30-year average? Isn't it like
You can
7%
buy a house
or
now,
8%?
building equity now, because you're not going to get 5 to 10 years down the road and be like, I'm so glad I waited to buy this house. It's so much cheaper than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, and like with the concessions and stuff that you get in this market, that's cash in the bank. So you could move into a home and keep your reserves, and you know, walk into some equity, you know, maybe get a good deal on a house now. Maybe your interest rate isn't what you want long term, but you can change it. And you know, some people really, you know, benefit from this market. So
the interest rate will change. They always change, and you can refi, but you never can change the sales price on your house.
right,
So
that's locked
that
in.
was what we wanted to talk about today. Is just if you are feeling like you're ready to buy, social media or someone is telling you, oh, you should wait for this time, talk to a real estate professional. Let us tell you if that's like a realistic thing you should be waiting out, and we'll be happy to help you.